Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
God Krishna Prabhu, can you hear me? And
yeah, I can hear you.
So you are Maharaj is joined. Oh, welcome. Maharaj, please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to your holiness. All glories to Prabhupada. Mobile. So it is our very great fortune. Today we are going to hear from His Holiness Sacinandana Swami Maharaj. He is so dear to everybody. So lovely and jolly mood of Maharaj, and having a very nice introduction, this association with Bhakti Chari Swami Maharaj also. So Maharaj, would you allow me to give a little brief introduction?
Yes.
Swami Maharaj, significant contribution, practice of meditation and kirtan, dedicated to the process of inner transformation. He had spent 50 years in pursuit of genuine spiritual experiences, messages of bhakti, humor, and energy. He reached his thousands while at the same time
It has disappeared. Who is it? Oh, Bhakti Prem Maharaj.
हरे कृष्ण धन्यवाद महाराज। महाराज राधाचंद्र प्रभु लीव हो गए हैं उनका इंटरनेट की वजह से, तो अगर आप देखें कि आगे कैसे करना है, आप इंट्रोड्यूस करा देंगे तो।
Nand Prabhu has left. We got cut off, then Bhakti Prem Maharaj could. Yes. Hare Krishna, I'm not able to hear anything at the moment, so I'm wondering what we should do, but I'm seeing Bhakti Prem Maharaj and my heart becomes full of joy. Hare Krishna Maharaj.
You can hear Maharaj. Sound is clear.
Acha, so should I then just proceed?
Yes, Maharaj. Sound is clear.
You order me and I will do. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, I want to greet all the devotees who are on this present call affectionately. It is a great pleasure and honor for me to address all of you. Prabhuji, now I see also our original Prabhuji. You are back. Do you want me to just continue, or what is the situation?
I've continued. Actually, this got discontinued for some reason or technicality. So now I want to continue. Guru Maharaj, please.
Good.
Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, please. In his own words, Maharaj says in his own words, like to inspire others to come in touch with the divine so that they can live and act from the place of unlimited blissful being. Sacinandana Swami Maharaj co-founded the Braj Care Charity in India and has been integral in building two spiritual communities in Germany. He teaches at the Vrindavan Institute for Higher Education, VIHE, in India, and the Bhaktivedanta College in Belgium, and has published several books. Dozens of articles and poems. This is the official introduction, and I want to add a word. We are fortunate enough to attend few seminars at Govardhan Retreat and Vardhana Retreat with Maharaj. They are so inspiring, touching, and really transforming the heart. One is the very profound words of Sacinandana Swami Maharaj. Before start of the retreat, Maharaj says always, after the retreat, you will not remain the same. That is a fact. I personally feel, I first read the book Nectar and Ocean of the Holy Name by Maharaj. It has touched me a lot and gave me a lot of inspiration to chant nicely what are the anarthas and so many things which are very essential for every practitioner of Harinam. Maharaj, for your just pleasure, I want to say, we have just received your book, The Living Name, yesterday only online. My son is Ruchir Gaur, Prabhu and Brij Vallavi, they are just organizing program for the practical spirituality, and they are arranging one program recently. So we are very, very fortunate and feel very, very blessed to have your association today. Thank you very, very much for accepting our invitation and enlightening us. His Holiness Sacinandana Swami Maharaj ki jai, Sri Prabhupada ki jai, Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj ki, Sri Vaishnava Brand ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paskatyade Satarine Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Hare Krishna, I am now able to address all of you, and I hope that technically we are fine. Can you please all hear me? If you can hear me, please raise your arms, then I can see. Okay, everything seems to be fine. Thank you so much. Yes, and I would like to address you all as disciples and followers of His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj. Just before starting this, I listened to Maharaj's last lecture, which was recorded in Ujjain, where he ended his pravachant, his katha, with a very significant sentence. He says, if as a leader I am hiding and they are fighting the battle in the forefront, no, as a leader I should go there and be with them. That is why I'm going. Thank you very much. So in this little sentence, you find very much the heart of His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj. He left the safety of Ujjain to go to America to support the devotees who were preaching in near Orlando at the new farm. He felt it was very necessary for him to go to give them support and strength so that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission and Srila Prabhupada's mission could be spread. That was his heartbeat. That was the reason why he was going to America. And it's important for all of his disciples and followers to take note of this. He wanted to go and leave India in order to spread Krishna consciousness in the West, particularly in America. I have been so very fortunate to be with Maharaj many times, and I always saw this spirit in him to try to act as a servant of Prabhupada and spread the movement for Krishna consciousness. I guess that is the reason why he became befriended me also, because he must have seen that I had a similar desire in my heart. And so for many, many years, he would regularly come to Germany, and we would then go and give preaching programs all over Germany, Austria, that's a little country next to Germany, and also Switzerland. These three German-speaking countries. We would go together, and he would give the lectures and I would translate. Later, he felt confident to speak again in German language because he had been in Germany for some time before he met Prabhupada, as a student of physics, I believe. So he had some command over the language. But when we first met, he preferred to speak in English and have it translated into the German language. Then one day, and I want to speak about this event, one day, one professor who had listened to His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj's lectures desired to invite him to the greatest gathering of priests and Christians. It was called the Evangelische Kirchentage. That means the Evangelic Church was inviting the whole country to come and deepen their Christianity, their knowledge of Christianity. It was a huge ground which they rented with big halls, and in all these halls, various Christian programs went on. In one hall there was singing. In another hall there was preaching of a Christian priest, and in yet another hall there was a conference. There were conferences going on. So this professor thought that it is time for the Christians of Germany to meet a devotee of Krishna and study Krishna consciousness and the Bhagavad Gita from the mouth of a real devotee, and then come to understand that in essence, all bona fide religions turn towards the one God, and they prescribe a pious life with certain rules as a means to get to that one God. He wanted to impress the people that the Hindu God is not different from the Christian God, and therefore he invited a monk whom he thought was most qualified, that is His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj. There would be thousands of people who would listen to the lecture which Maharaj gave. There would be famous professors asking him questions at the end. And there would also be TV, and it would be a major event which would be noticed by the Christian world. I remember we had been before this program in Austria, and in order to go from Austria to, I believe, Cologne or Frankfurt, one of these two towns where this huge Christian gathering took place, we had to drive the whole day. Now, we drove, and then we slept in Munich, that is South Germany, and in order to reach the lecture of Maharaj, we had to drive another, I believe, 6 or 8 hours. 8 hours. 6 hours maybe. So in the midst of our journey, the car developed problems. And as we continued driving with this problematic car, the problems became worse and worse and worse, so that finally we were covered in smoke while driving. So Bhakti Charu Maharaj turned to me. He said, Sacinandana Swami, we have to get to, it was Frankfurt, we have to get to Frankfurt. What do we do? I said, Maharaj, it's a Saturday, and the places where cars can be repaired, this was the old time. Now I think they have opened, but at that time, all places are closed. We cannot reach Frankfurt in this broken car. Then Maharaj smiled and he said, did you know that I am a car mechanic? And I said, Maharaji, you are a Brahmana. You are not a car mechanic. You cannot repair cars. And Maharaj said, Bhakti Charu Maharaj said, for preaching, Krishna will give me the intelligence. But Maharaj, there's no place where we have tools to repair the broken car. He said, Prabhupada and Krishna will help. You will see. So we went away from the Autobahn. We came to a car mechanic shop. There was one of these lifts, you know, huge lifts, which can lift a car. Maharaj ordered that our car be driven on this car lift. There was no owner there, no one who knew how to do it, but somehow Maharaj figured it out. He knew which button to press, and the car went up Then he could see there was some problem with the exhaustion pipe, but a huge problem. Then he just asked me, we have to find something to repair it, some metal. And I said, oh, Maharaj, how will it work? But anyways, he said, no, you look for something. So I came back with one of these Fanta boxes. Fanta, you know, like Coca-Cola or like Thumbs Up, but it was with metal, aluminium. So Maharaj took a knife and cut the upper part and the lower part of the, how do we say it? Of the can. It was a soft drink can. And he just took some pipe apart, then he fixed the can, left, right, put back the broken pipe. Then we looked for some wire and we was using the wire to close it. And then Maharaji ordered, we must bring the car down. It came down with the lift. And believe it or not, we could proceed. We could drive. And we arrived at the place where Maharaj's lecture was to be given maybe 3 minutes before. Oh, we were sweating. We had been driven, and then Maharaj gave his lecture. He sat down, and the car mechanic became the international lecturer. He immediately could deliver a very nice lecture. It was in German language. He was reading from a translation of that lecture in very good German language. He was stopping, he was reading slowly, and people were so impressed about the content. Maharaj is very intellectual. I still remember he developed his lecture by talking about the 5 states of consciousness, which you will find explained by Bhaktivinoda Thakur in the Jaiva Dharma, shrunken consciousness, and then it went on to budding consciousness, then to opening consciousness, and then to fully blossomed consciousness, explaining the process of Krishna consciousness, that it helps our consciousness to open and open and open and open more, so that in the end we can be conscious about Krishna. We don't, at the beginning, one is only conscious of material things around him. And at the end of this program of purifying the consciousness, the soul is able to have a fully blossomed consciousness where they can perceive Krishna. And many other things he explained, the origins of Krishna consciousness. He spoke from the Gita, from the Bhagavatam, and gave a very powerful lecture. I think a lecture which Prabhupada would have been very proud of. Very systematically arranged. And at the end of his presentations, the people were just applauding and applauding and applauding. I remember I was a little bit worried because Christians sometimes are not so open when a Hindu monk preaches to them. They feel a little bit threatened maybe, or closed, or so on. But you know, Maharaji is such a gentleman when he talks. It's such perfect language. And you can see he's such a serious preacher that even this most difficult audience of the Christians during the Evangelische Kirchentag, that's how you pronounce it in German, were extremely impressed by Maharaj's presentation. And still, the professor who organized it, he's now 83 years old, is still very, very, very impressed about this presentation, because so many people wanted to see the movie afterwards, the film, and hear the lecture. Why am I telling this? I want to share with you that our Bhakti Charu Maharaj is not only speaking about his duty as a leader to help in the front lines of preaching, but throughout his life, he has really shown that he really believes it, he lives it, and he gives an example of it. This is very important for us to understand as we go on with this lecture. At the moment, we know from the regular updates of his health that he is still in a critical position. His health, he is in one of the best hospitals. They are providing good health care and regular monitoring, but ultimately his health is absolutely dependent on Krishna's mercy. You all have read and heard the updates of his health, so I will here only say this much. He is not yet, he's sedated, he is, that means still in an artificial coma. Oops, that is what it means. And he has not yet woken up from it, but soon he will, an attempt will be made, or he will be awakened. So the situation is severe. One of the foremost preachers of Srila Prabhupada and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement is now like a general who has been brought into the hospital after being severely wounded. And we as his and his disciples and also his friends and followers naturally ask themselves the question, how can I help now His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj in this situation? All over the world, devotees are praying for him, are making yagyas, we will do, for us, this is still early here in Germany, we will do this evening praying the Nishinga Kavacha for him, because this is the day where this is best done, a Tuesday, and so on. But is there anything else beyond this, what his disciples and friends and followers could possibly do? What can Surat Radha Charan do? What can Bhakti Prem Swami do? What can Mukunda Priyadas do? What can Syam Saka do? And all these others on the call. Is there anything beyond praying? This is the question. We cannot go into the hospital and massage Maharaj. It would not be helpful at this stage. How can we take care that he gets strength so that he can pull through this very difficult health crisis? This is the question I would like to address. Do you think it's a good question? No, this is a good question. Good. I have always seen that if there is some difficulty in the life of a senior devotee who is very dear to Prabhupada and Krishna, we can support that senior devotee by understanding what is his spirit and then doing something in that spirit. Let me give you an example. When Srila Prabhupada, we all know that Srila Prabhupada very much wanted to translate the Vedic scriptures from the Sanskrit into the English. And he was very, very eager to see his books distributed all over the world. I still remember Prabhupada really appreciated his own books. I was for some time serving in the German BBT, and we were the first foreign language to bring out a complete set of the Bhagavatam and all of Prabhupada's other books, like Nectar of Devotion, Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, Bhagavad Gita, etc. And we had sometimes questions how to translate the work. And Prabhupada then would say, and we sometimes ask Prabhupada, it's so difficult to express in the German language these complicated points. Can we change something and make it palatable for the German audience? And Prabhupada says, no, you cannot change even a word, because these purports are my personal ecstasies. From this statement, you can see Srila Prabhupada had put his life into the books. And now, when Prabhupada was very ill, and during his last day, Prabhupada, we asked ourselves, what can we do? Our general is now not on the battlefield. He's lying down in Vrindavan. How can we give him strength? And I still remember we started to do what we could do best, that is distribute his books to the people and send him reports. Then Prabhupada wrote us back. He said, whenever you send me reports of your book distribution, I get my life back. This is the principle. You have to understand what your spiritual master, Bhakti Charu Maharaj, what is his lifeblood? What does he want? What does he expect? What is his personal example? And then when you do this, he gets a lot of life. A lot. It's more powerful than blood transfusion. It's more powerful maybe than plasma injection. It is something which comes from the pran, from the life force of his disciples, and goes to the pran, to the life force of their spiritual master. Now, of course, when we look at the, let us say, the vast mission of His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj, we find many things are there. He wants to spread the movement of Srila Prabhupada. I think he wants preaching to go on in Ujjain and all over the world. His mission is so vast, so big. He wants that his disciples follow all the four regulative principles. He wants that we read in the scriptures of Srila Prabhupada. You know very well from the lectures which Bhakti Charu Maharaj has given to you what it is that he wants. So you should now all see, or I'm not excluding myself. I am also a follower of Bhakti Charu Maharaj. He is, I always think he is my older brother, and I'm a little uncivilized brother from the uncivilized countries. So we all have to see, each one, what is it that I can do that will give life to His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj. I know when there is someone, let us say, who had an accident and he lost a lot of blood, then the request is given, oh, can some people please give blood so that he can survive, this person who had an accident. His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj needs prana now, life force. And therefore, and since his prana, his life is preaching, if you as his disciples who are very connected with him, engage in either preaching or living and doing the other projects which Maharaj, which are very dear to Maharaj, he will get life. No? We all know when we have our spiritual master, Guru Maharaj is here, and when I'm here and I'm doing something which is wrong, then that wrong thing goes and affects the health of the spiritual master. You have heard this, no? Everyone knows it. It's very clear. But I'm requesting you to do good things now. That will also go and it will help Maharaj. Just like when a disciple commits sinful activities, the result, some of the portion of the result goes to his spiritual master. In the same way, if a disciple does very good activities, some portion of this sukriti goes to the spiritual master. And I'm just now at this stage reading. I'm reading the Bhagavatam daily, and I have gone a few times from beginning to end, and then again beginning to end, and I'm just now in the chapters of Dhruva Maharaj's glorious life. And there is one section, Dhruva Maharaj has reached, after a lot of determined austerities, the darshan of the Lord. The Lord has come riding on Garuda, and he has appeared before Dhruva Maharaj. And Dhruva Maharaj wishes to now offer prayers, but he is totally overwhelmed and not a single word comes out of his mouth. I think it is a natural situation when you see something very adbhut, very surprising, very amazing, then how will you speak? Your mouth gets closed and your intelligence gets closed, blocked. So the Lord saw this, and he took his conch shell and touched the head of Dhruva Maharaj, and then all of a sudden, by the divine touch of the conch shell of the Lord, Dhruva Maharaj could speak many, many beautiful prayers. Yonta Pravishta. He started like this: my dear Lord, now your energy, where your energy has entered me, I can speak so many things. my mouth is clear, my intelligence is clear, everything is clear. I'm enlightened. So I wish very much that all of our efforts to help our Maharaj will also touch Maharaj and give him life so that he can very nicely recover and stay with us for many years. But this is not all I wanted to say. You know, at the very end of Dhruva Maharaj's reign, he had governed the planet for 36,000 years. This was another yuga. And now, after his governmental role was completed, he gave the government to one of his two sons, and he retired to Badarikashrama. And there in Badarikashrama, Dhruva Maharaj regularly took his bath in the sacred Alakananda Ganga river, and he thought of the Lord, and he worshipped him in devotional service, so much so that he was totally overwhelmed with ecstasy, and tears were constantly coming out of his eyes. He had achieved the stage of being very close to Krishna. And now the Lord sent his two servants, Nanda and Sunanda, with a viman, with an aircraft, to take Dhruva Maharaj and to go back home, back to Godhead. So Dhruva Maharaj took a bath, final bath, then he circumambulated the Vimana, he touched it, he offered his respectful obeisances, and he was just about to step on the Vimana when death came. Dhruva Maharaj was in a body very brilliant, shining like many, many suns. And then death came all of a sudden to offer obeisances. And Dhruva Maharaj took his foot and stepped on the head of death and then went into the Vimana, into the aircraft. Now, as he was just starting on his journey back home, back to Godhead, he remembered his mother, Suniti. Suniti had nourished him with her own milk. Suniti had brought him up. And when Dhruva Maharaj was very, very desperate because his father had rejected him and not allowed him to come on his lap, when that Suniti had said to him, "My dear son Dhruva, only you can, and only Krishna can help you. His mercy is more, and affection is more like that of 1,000 mothers." Woo, very big love from Krishna. So Dhruva could never forget this. And he asked Nanda and Sunanda, "My mother, where is my mother? I'm going, but I cannot go with my mother, who has given me so much advice. She's like my Shiksha Guru. Is not safe." Then Nanda and Sunanda said, "Don't worry, because you're Dhruva, and because of your extraordinary devotional life, your mother Suniti is also going back home. Just look over there." And when Dhruva looked, he could see, wow, there was a second Vimana also going back home, back to Godhead. Now in this purport to this section of the Bhagavatam, Prabhupada has said, I wish similarly that one of my disciples goes back to Godhead, and then he can also arrange that I'm going. This is an indication how even disciples of their Guru Maharaj can somehow or other give benefit to their Guru Maharaj. Just like Dhruva Maharaj has given great benefit to Suniti, you as the disciples and followers of His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj are definitely requested to think how you can help him. It is not enough to just study the upgrades or updates on his condition. Oh, how is it now? How is it now? No, every one of you should please see how can there be a place for me in the mission of my Guru Maharaj, Bhakti Charu Maharaj, and how can I then give him prana, life force, so that he will quickly come out of this present crisis, health crisis, and be able to do seva again. This is my humble request, what you can do. Once, Bhakti Charu Maharaj, in the last days of staying, of Prabhupada's life, he was cooking. He writes in this book, which I think you have seen, Ocean of Mercy. I want to read. He writes, Prabhupada says, why are you wasting your time cooking when you see that I don't have any appetite and I'm unable to eat anything? Why do you waste your time? Srila Prabhupada, I replied, I cook hoping that you will get well and develop some appetite and eat something. He said, I will get well only when I die. Hearing that, I could no longer control myself. I broke down in tears. Srila Prabhupada soothed me like a father. Is this what you learned from me? He asked. Didn't I teach you that the spirit soul never dies? The spirit soul simply changes the body. It transmigrates from one body to another. In this way, he was reminding me that he would always be there with us, even if we could not see him. I feel really this is now the time for you as disciples and followers to think about this. I personally feel very sure that he will pull through this. I don't think this is this will kill Maharaj. No, I don't think like. Why don't I not think like this? See, we did yagyas for Maharaj here, and we requested that regular prayers are done at Singhachalam, the farm where there is Lord Nrsingadev, by the priest. They come every morning on the altar, they do yagyas for Maharaj, and they pray. And the indication which we get is that he will definitely pull through it and become healthy again. It is, I'm not reading you this section from his book, The Ocean of Mercy, to in any way make a comparison here, but I want to bring this point before your attention. Just like Srila Prabhupada asked our Maharaj, is this what I have taught you? Is this what you learned from me? What you learned from me? We should also think now, what did Maharaj teach us? What did we learn? How do we now act as responsible disciples so that so that we can give him well? And I would like to now end my presentation by reading you something from Srila Prabhupada, which Prabhupada wrote how we as disciples should understand difficult situations for when our spiritual master is in difficulty. I will request my assistant Krishna. There is that, I forgot, I think, the 10th canto part 1. Please bring it to me. I have something so that I know where is the piece. When Prabhupada was in a difficult situation, we had to also think what to do. And what I so much liked is Prabhupada always referred us to Krishna, that we should take full shelter in Krishna, because he would say that everything is in the hands of Krishna. See, if I have this teacup, it's in my hand. I am responsible for everything which might happen. Like the tea might come out. This is very difficult. But if I give this teacup to Bhakti Prem Swami, who is very talented in many ways, then the teacup is no longer my responsibility. Bhakti Prem Maharaj is very steady, and he will take care of the teacup, and he will safeguard the teacup. So our life is like this, is fragile. Anything can happen anytime. Oh, dangerous place, this material world. COVID-19, small problem. Death, big problem. It's shaky. But if I give the glass into the hand of someone who's more competent, then there's safety. So in the most competent is Krishna. Even the most able doctor is not always able to help the patient. Even the best equipped hospital with machines that can prolong circulation and breathing and plasma and this and that cannot give any guarantee that the glass of life will not spill. But if you give it in the hands of Krishna, then everything is safe. So Prabhupada wanted to impress this point to us, and he wrote, it's a really beautiful quote. It's one of my favorite quotes. He wrote, one should understand that no one is independent, for everything is part and parcel of Krishna and is acting and moving by the supreme desire of Krishna. This understanding, this consciousness is Krishna consciousness. My dear devotees, if you want to find this beautiful quote from Srila Prabhupada, And please make a note, it's in the 10th canto, chapter 13, text 53, second paragraph. No? 10, 13, 53, second paragraph. One should understand that no one is independent, for everything is part and parcel of Krishna and is acting and moving by the supreme desire of Krishna. This understanding, this consciousness is Krishna consciousness. So in this way, we will place the life of our most beloved Bhakti Charu Maharaj in his hand, in Krishna's hand. We will pray like this. My dear Lord, please, if you so desire, if it is your desire, cure our Bhakti Charu Maharaj. And from our side, we will go very deep and see, okay, what is in my ability, my circle of influence? What can I do to give prana, life force, to our Maharaj by following his instructions and his example? Everyone can do. Radha Charan, great preacher, very responsible, but also his good wife who's with him at this moment. She may not be so much preaching like a husband, but she can also do what is in her ability, what would please Maharaj. Everyone can do of us something which will please Maharaj. I will sing Kirtan today with Gaur Krishna for Maharaj, for Krishna, and then I will do Nishinga Puja for Maharaj, because Nishinga is very powerful, very powerful. He will protect our Maharaj. This is Nishinga Kavacha, which protects from all, even bad planets, diseases, everything. Saptik, saptik, saptik. Good. My dear devotees, my assistant Gaur Krishna holds this piece of paper. It means 5 minutes left. He is all. I'm thinking we should address maybe some question. Do you have the technical ability to do that, Radha Charan Prabhuji?
Sure, Guru Maharaj. Maharaj, we are very, very thankful from the core of our heart. Such a wonderful, heart-touching, soul-touching, such a lovely, inspirational talk by you, which is giving such a inspiration how we can improve, become sincere, more dedicated servants of Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada and all of you. It is really memorable at such a crucial moment. You gave very clear indication, and we understand from your talk, this is the pastime of Maharaj, just to make us more humble, more sincere, more dedicated. We are taking everything so casual. So it's very, very inspiring. Your smiling face, your so innocent talk, such a lovely, lovely your aspirations, really so touching. We cannot express in words actually. So nice. We are thankful from the core of our heart. We will request you to come once in the next week also to please enlighten all the disciples and devotees.
It would be
So
my
now whoever.
great.
Yeah. So please now, anybody, Bhakti Prem Maharaj, would you like to say something right now before the question or after the question?
Oh, we need to hear from Bhakti Prem Maharaj. Please, some words of wisdom. Please say, Bhakti Prem Maharaj. It is my desire.
Maharaj, I learned so many things and took some commitment after hearing from your blessing from you so that I can follow your instruction. Please bless me so that I can implement your instruction.
Any request?
And this is not the last lecture. We'll request you time to time. We want to hear from you.
It is my great honor, but I think Maharaj will 1-2 weeks and he is out. I hope 1-2 weeks.
Sure.
Hari
So, Maharaj, we will be in touch with Krishna Prabhu and have
Like-
one more program at least next week.
Yes, thank you. Yes, 100%.
The way you have
Not-
established Kirtan Mala everywhere, we want you to start in Ujjain also.
Oh, yes, very good idea. Very good. After lockdown, we should seriously consider.
Yes, Maharaj.
And our Maharaj, our Bhakti Charu Maharaj is also there, and we sing together.
Yeah,
Hari Bol.
Prabhupada. So now we request the devotees, whoever have any question, especially relating to the talk and regarding Guru Maharaj, what we should do, that will be better to ask such type of questions, please. Whoever can raise their hands to the digital or send it to chat. So Maharaj, now actually as per the clock, the time is over, but not as the heart, the time is over still. Heart want to listen something more. How many devotees want to listen? If you can extend for 10-15 minutes more.
We have time, Maharaj. If you have time, please continue.
Okay, we will do 5 more minutes with your permission. I want to tell you how our Maharaj was. I have something I want to share. Just give me one moment. Yeah. There's something I wanted to share. This is a very nice book. So good. So very nice. You all know, huh? Our Bhakti Charu Maharaj has written this book. Srila Prabhupada, and in this book, he writes something. Bhakti Charu Maharaj writes something that once Prabhupada's god brother, Dr. O.B.L. Kapoor, went and visited him. This was when in the year 1931. That's when most of you were not born. So Srila Prabhupada had received Dr. Kapoor, who was at the university, and when Dr. Kapoor left him, he gave him a small tonic, like Rasayana, Chavanprash, something like this, no? But a tonic which Prabhupada had made with his own hand. And Dr. Kapoor joked. He said, Abhi Babu, Abhi Babu, I wish you would give me the tonic which you yourself take, your private personal tonic, the tonic of Krishna Prema, of pure love of Krishna. So Prabhupada replied, I don't have the tonic yet, but I have formula. I have the formula. Then Dr. Kapoor asked, if the formula is not a secret, can you please tell me the formula? And Prabhupada answers, no, it's not a secret at all. Trinarapi sunicheno taro iva sahishnuna amanina manadina Kirtaniya Sada Hari. One should chant the holy name in a humble state of mind, thinking himself lower than even the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than the tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige and ready to offer respect to all others. It is in such a state of mind where one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. This is the formula, Srila Prabhupada said. And I'm going to preach it all over the world. That is in 1900, what was it? 31. Oh, only in 1966, 35 years later, Prabhupada went to the West, no? And took this formula. I have always seen in His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj that yes, Maharaj can be like a lion. Whoa! You have seen when he explains the philosophy. But personally, oh, so humble. I remember when he came to the Heidelberg temple, he would always go in the kitchen and himself cook pizza for all the devotees in the Heidelberg temple. He would always cook for the devotees who were on his party. Once he stayed with me in my brother's house, and there were also his group of devotees, maybe 5 devotees who were traveling. And he said, Sacinandana Maharaj, what would you like to eat today? Very humble. And I said, well, what is your specialty at the moment? And then he said, I will cook today monk's delight for you. A delight, monk's pleasure for you. It was a very sattvic preparation. I see Radha Charan's wife is thinking, monk's delight? What is the recipe? You have to ask His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj when he comes out of the hospital. What is the recipe? I do not know. I forgot. I cannot cook. So this humbleness in his nature. Yes, when he speaks, oh, we must follow Prabhupada. He says very strictly, he says, again and again, he says, oh, no nonsense, no, very strongly. But his heart, so much humility is there. I have always noted. This is the proper mixture for a leader. Humility and also some strength must be there. Like in the Bhagavatam, Maharaj Prithu is glorified, and 3 qualities are glorified. It said he was like the rain who satisfied all the trees and all the plants. He was as charitable as the rain. Some other quality. As deep as the ocean. He was as deep as the ocean. And he was as steady as Mountain Meru. Steady. I have seen in our Maharaj also, these are qualities of a leader. Like the rain, very merciful to everyone. He went even to our America. He went to America to give kripa, mercy to the devotees there and to the people. Like the rain, falling everywhere. Then deep, like an ocean, very deep thoughts he has. I think you all know. And also strong, like Mountain Meru, unshakable, unshakable. These are very good qualities. So therefore, but please do not forget, each one of you, this is my expectation. After this call, I don't know, maybe there's another call, but after you have some time, when you have some time, my request to you is you think very deeply about Bhakti Charu Maharaj and you think about something which you can do. I don't know what's the time now in India, Radha Charan. What is your time in India now?
9 p.m.
9 p.m.
9 p.m.
Late, good. So you will take your rest very soon. But before you go into the bed, you just think, what will I do to please Maharaj, to give him prana? Every one of you. So then tomorrow you do it. For tonight, you should rest peacefully and get good strength, because tomorrow is an important day. Tomorrow you will give strength to Maharaj by following his instructions, doing something to do, sending him transfusion, prana transfusion. Prana can travel easily over the planet, no problem. From India to America, no problem. Prana doesn't need an airplane. Good, my dear devotees. I have some other seva to do. Please give me your permission to leave now this call. It was a genuine pleasure to see you. I do remember you, Radhacharan Prabhu, and maybe I've seen your wife, maybe, and I somehow remember Bhakti Prem Maharaj. I have seen very gentle Maharaj, very good Maharaj. Yes. All the best, and Hare Krishna, Jai Shila Prabhupada, Jai Shila Prabhupada.
Thank you very, very, very much, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
जन सचिदानंद स्वामी महाराज की
जय
प्रभुपाद की
जय
परम पूज्य भक्ति चारू स्वामी गुरु महाराज की
जय हरे कृष्ण वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः हरे कृष्ण